All right, all right. Welcome back to More FLA Homes. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian Clay. Alongside me is one of our real estate rock stars on the team, the Wesley Chapel King. What's up, brother?
Not too much, man. How you doing today? We got a lot of people in Wesley Chapel that when they see me, they do the crown.
Do they
They know
really?
to put
We're
the
gonna hype
crown
that
on.
up, man.
Yes,
We're just
I
gonna keep
like it.
doing that. I'm gonna
There it
add that
is.
to it so when people see, they're gonna do that. No, we got
Okay.
community breakdown. Angeline, I don't see a lagoon out here. I remember first reading about Angeline, right? Like, oh, a new crystal clear lagoon. We're gonna be growing crops out
Yeah.
here. We've helped a lot of families out here, so I'm interested in like what's going on, dog. Talk to us.
Yeah, this is a growing community, especially over the say the next 10 years. There will be a lagoon in this community. This is developed by Metro. It's just not here yet. That's going to be at least 3 years before maybe you even see the start of that lagoon. But like the other lagoon communities, you're seeing multiple builders, you're seeing commercial space coming in. Of course, the beautiful lagoon, like you said, there's a farm inside the community where they're growing crops. You can buy fresh produce from the farm at Angeline, go to the cafe where they're making the food, some subs and sandwiches and stuff. And then you're going to get what we're showing today is the active adult, which is 55 plus community. And we have a lot of people that we've helped out in these 55 plus communities. But I think today I'm really kind of going to tackle why you would choose Angeline's Lennar 55 plus versus the Murata or the now new Newport Corners, which is in Newport Richie. And mainly it's going to be from what you see on the screen right here, and that's those views.
All right, Newport Corners. Do we need to talk about it?
Yeah, you can roll this real quick and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. It's going to be the same concept as what you get into the lagoons, which is active adult, your own personal amenity, resort style, pickleball courts, tennis. You get some exterior landscaping care. But we had a client looking between all three of these communities. Where do I want to be for the same active adult and which community? And here is a good shot of what you're going to see at Newport Corners. It's going to be a little bit closer to the beaches and to over there towards the coast. So I would say that's the main difference with Newport Corners. You're going to still get some pond views, some conservation views, but you're going to get less in this community. You can also see it's back to a major road that cuts through right down there to the beaches. So one thing we're going to talk about today, we said, is the lots. And I think in this community, you're going to see that you're not going to get as many of those private views like you do in Angeline. But great prices over there too, and they have some nice deals. So we're still helping people out over there. Here in Angeline, this is kind of much like Two Rivers. They have a ton of conservation, ton of walking trails, big open fields.
Mature
Most of these homes
trees.
like mature trees. It feels like you are truly tucked in nature. I'm sure as this drone video goes on, you'll see that almost every single lot has complete privacy in the backyard. Some of them have no front neighbors and no rear facing neighbors. It's pretty
Mm,
crazy, actually.
love that.
But if now we're going to go into the third comparison, which would be Murata, that's over in San Antonio. Angeline's going to be pretty much centrally located right between those two communities in Land O'Lakes. So Murata over in San Antonio, you got Angeline and Land O'Lakes, then Newport Corners out there, Newport Richie. This shot here of Murata, which we've helped several families buy into this community, you can see still have some nice conservation views, water views in the back, but still slightly more condensed than what
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see over at Angeline, where the roads are windy and they feel like they kind of just go off into the woods. The reason I wanted to show these home sites today is because Lennar is going to offer some crazy deals right now. The home on the screen, they've reduced almost $100,000 in price. Now
Dude,
we've
why do the
sold one of these.
55 plus always get the best, man? They get
They
the best
deserve it,
deals, they
man.
get the best amenities, they get to drive golf carts in their communities.
Active adult, active adult.
I
That's
can't
something
wait to be
we're
an
going to
active
address
adult.
then. I can't wait for it, right? But you truly do get some of the best amenities in this community, some of the best features, as into restaurants, your private pools, gyms. There's on-site party vendors, planners. So a ton going on in the community. You can see that they do tile roofs. You got the pavers, driveways. This one's going to be a really nice home. They have villas, which are those two attached side by side. Then they're going to have their estates product, which is a single family, and then their executive product, which is going to be the 60-foot wide 3-car garage. And those ones have a little more upgrades in the home where you get
Ooh.
the gourmet kitchen with some of the with the built-in oven, the extended kitchen, like we said, the tile roof, papers, driveways kind of goes throughout the community. but this is the backyard to the home site. You have a pond and you have a ton of protected wilderness where there will be no development in the
Love that.
future. And I think if you stand on the street in this community, you can hear the silence. You can kind of hear the nature around you. You will definitely see some deer running through this community, otters, armadillos, tons of different birds and cranes, swans. So it's definitely tucked in nature. And I think a lot of the reps even prepare you like, hey, you're going to see some wildlife out here in this community.
I love it.
But as much as that's going into the community, like we said, with the lagoons, the farms, and a whole health center that's going to be larger than the size of downtown Tampa is coming to the south section of Angeline. So we're talking about innovation, a Moffitt Cancer Center. They're going to employ probably over 15,000 people in that section. Ton of equity and growth to come into these communities, especially for some people that are looking to invest in the community.
So you started off comparing, right? Or
Hmm.
you're kind of using the other 55 plus communities as a comparison. I think
Correct.
you're doing a great job of that, right? Because one, it looks better, you're getting a little more privacy, but two, 55 plus, you want to be by some healthcare. So you're talking about the Moffitt Town Center that was coming in, that's bigger
Hmm.
than downtown Tampa, and it's going to be at the end of the Angeline community, or it's going to be butted up to the Angeline community.
It's going to be on the south section
Okay.
of the Angeline community. This, I would say, is more towards the north side of it, but
Okay.
nonetheless, on the entire property,
Right.
all of this health and infrastructure is going to be built. Which I think they've already have one building up, but there should be almost 100 buildings that they're putting up over there. So a lot to look forward to in the entire community. Very centrally located here in Tampa, just north of Tampa.
So before we get into a home tour, right? Because me and my 55 plus people, we have some questions. We want to make sure we get these things answered, right?
That's
The
right.
Lagoon's not here yet, right? What is the Lagoon gonna look like when you compare it to an Epperson or Murata, like size? Do we know any details about it?
We do. So fortunately, we have a good relationship with some of the employees of Metro developers, and they
Mm-hmm.
gave me a little bit of insight into the lagoon, which we're expecting to see, like we said, in about 3 years. They're going to get started on that. It's actually going to be a 5 acre lagoon. So it's a
Smaller.
little bit smaller
Yeah.
than the Epperson. Correct. Epperson is 7 acres and Murata is 15 acres. So that one is massive, and it's a great place to hang out. But
Mm-hmm.
truly, a lot of that water is untouched. It is almost oversized for a lagoon. But as they continue to build these communities, you see them kind of adjusting to
Figuring it
what
out, right?
people to the figuring out right the right way. Like, do we need to do 15 acres, or could we use some of that space for maybe commercial or retail? How can we improve these lagoon communities? But you're going to get a very similar feel in all of the active adults inside the lagoons, with the Medley Club Center that has the restaurants, pool tables. You got dozens of activities you can sign up for. Like you said, fitness center, event center, and all of this is going to come with included in your fees to the 55 plus, which are a little bit different than most of the single family homes that are around there.
Do you
But
have
with
those? You
that,
have those feed numbers?
oh yeah, we got lots of fee numbers. What do you want to talk about?
I want to
You
talk
want to talk
about
about
what
what
it costs to live. And me and my 55 plus friends want to know what it costs to live in here. What am I paying for?
that's a good question here. So it's going to include your internet, the lawn, pest control, like you said, the amenity centers, the gate, everything on your active adult section here. But you're going to probably pay anywhere in the CDD from 2,300 all the way up to the executive series, where you can pay $4,600 for the CDD. So you'll
Okay.
see that your CDD portion is a little bit higher
Mm-hmm.
in this community. And then when we're talking about the HOA, it can go anywhere from 200 to 380 bucks a month for the HOA as well.
Dude,
There's
look at these
also Lennar.
views. So sorry, Corey.
The, no, you're good. That's exactly why it's on the screen right there for everyone to check out how beautiful the views are in almost every single home. Some of them have multiple pond views. You see birds flying across the water, swooping up fish. It's a very beautiful scene out here. But just so you know, Lennar also does have single family homes here that are not an active adult as well, a 40 and 50-foot product. And those fees are much lower. You're talking about 1,700 up to 3,000 on the CDD, and the HOA is roughly only $100 a month. So if you're not, the active adult gives you something like this, though. This is what you're truly paying for. I think we've compared the CDD to being lower in Murata, but that's because the land portion of the CDD has been bought off by Lennar
Ah, that's
already. So
right.
you're
Yes, I remember
only
that.
paying for the operation and maintenance. So that's also a factor when people are considering how can I maybe save 300-400 bucks a month between the two active adults. Murata will offer you a slightly lower
So this is
CDD fee.
Angeline's amenity center.
Yeah,
Good, very
exactly.
nice.
Yeah,
At least the active adult section.
exactly. That's
Cool.
exactly. This is just for the active
Love
adults
it.
over here. And then Newport Corners and Newport Richie's going to have the same amenity center over there. They call it Medley. So they kind of take it and they reproduce it everywhere that they're building
Cool.
the active adults. Which you see me and Christian out here when we're 55,
Ooh.
knees taped up, ankles taped up, sweating.
You know
Gonna
how
need
many
some.
50 I'll be 55 in 20 years.
Wow, man, that's coming soon,
That's
buddy.
soon,
Coming
dude. That's
soon.
soon. Time flies
And
so
so you,
fast.
hey, and so if you're 55 plus and you own a home here, anybody over 21 can live in the home with you. One of the clients that we're working with right now is going to have their daughter live with them, and the single family options even have you can get a two-story single family home in the 55 plus, where the second floor is like its own bedroom, loft, and bathroom up there. So there's a lot of privacy you can still get in these homes. You're going to see that even in the two bedrooms they place the owner suite and the guest bed on opposite sides of the home with their own bathrooms so that you can still have some guests, you can still have family stay with you or someone live with you that's above 21 and get some privacy in your home. But you're going to love what this community has to offer for views, I guarantee it. And now Lennar is very motivated to get some of these sales in, so they're dropping prices. And that's where we're like sharks in the water. When we start hearing those prices drop, we're getting closer to the end of the year. Let's start getting some good deals for you guys.
For everybody out there, Mondays at 5 p.m., Corey and I will be going live, giving you updates on not just what the numbers are showing in the market, but what we are seeing in the market. Although numbers don't lie, you still need to know what the perspective of the boots on the ground are, right? So join us Mondays at live, give you an opportunity to meet us, Q&A, go over some questions that you guys might have, and then for us to give you what's going on, not just like in a specific community like we're doing today, but in the overall market. So what are we looking at today, Corey? I didn't forget what you said. You said something about $100,000 off.
Reducing the price. It was $95,000 off the price. In addition to, we're going to get some closing costs for that. Almost all of the closing costs in special financing, depending on which loan type you choose. So it's a huge package deal. When I know our other agent Chris likes to talk about 145,000 in
He adds it
savings,
all up, dude. The
we
doorknob costs
you add it up.
5,000. I mean, real
That's
numbers
it.
here, but he adds it up, man. He's
Hey,
like, the cost to do he does a good job.
that that's what it is at the end of the day. And then if you're paying cash, we can kind of use some of those incentives that are towards rate and stuff towards the price of your home. So nonetheless, we are adding it up, and that's how much you're saving on these deals with the builder right now, especially with that their special interest rates that they're offering, saving people hundreds of dollars a month. So you do know Lennar does add a 1% builder fee
Mm-hmm.
to their closing costs. So relatively to other builders, you're going to see that they're a little bit higher on their closing costs, but we can still negotiate incentives on your behalf to make sure that they're covering everything if it's what it takes to get the deal done. But most of the time, you're going to see that they are motivated, and we've been doing a lot of business with them throughout the year.
For everybody out there, every builder operates differently. Lennar has a system in place where let's say you don't have representation on your side. You don't have Aunt Susan, you don't have Corey's beautiful face, you don't have anybody, right? You go straight to the builder. The rep that you meet with, you're going to end up getting passed off to, once you go under contract. This is not a bad thing. This is how they operate. I'm just giving you the real. You're going to get passed off to a concierge. The concierge is going to pass you off to a warranty. Warranty is going to pass you off to the CR. You're going to have all of these people that you have to operate through, and to get a clear answer or at least one person that you can lean on for questions, because they're going to pop up, or concerns or anything that happens. Make sure I guess where I'm going to with this, make sure you have one person that you can rely on. It costs $0 for our service. That's where we come into play. Whenever you're dealing with the construction manager and you want something fixed, Corey, this morning, you just had a walk this morning with the construction manager,
Correct.
right? And how did that
Yep.
go?
Yeah, this was with another builder in Parrish, Florida, but the construction manager was very quick, very brief. This is that, blah, 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 kind of running around. Didn't really help us put up any blue tape or anything. We asked for, I think, 2 or 3 items to be fixed. We initially got a no. Builder just straight up, no, we're not going to do that. That's how it comes. One of the other construction managers or warranty reps came on site, so we were able to ask him, can we get these things fixed? And he was like, yeah, I can do that for you. Called someone down the street to come over, one of the concrete guys, and he fixed it within 30 seconds. So something as simple as that to do, you will get kickback from the builders. They will say
100%.
this is how it looks. Or it's going to happen anyway, so it's going to be on you to fix. when these items need to be addressed before you close, because after you close, the warranty process can take as much time as they want it to because
Hmm.
you're already in the home, but they will not delay closing to not fix these items if we get it done beforehand. So yeah, working with those construction managers, like you said, having someone to rely on that's going to go fight for you, make sure that we can get the answers no matter how high up we have to go to get the result that we need. We're definitely going to be able to do that for our clients. And that's part of our system and our method that we built in, is locking in the quality of these homes so that once you're under contract, we make sure that you get the best quality out of your home before you close.
Yeah, I think it's such an underrated thing that we talk about, because we talk about how we, unlock incentive for people, save them thousands of dollars, right? Lock in the quality,
Mhm.
how we utilize our insider builder access that we might have. But we don't really talk about us being that reliable face, like that person where when things get tough, instead of having to try to chase the lender around, you just tell us and we'll do all of that stuff for you, right? Like, let us be your representation, or your Aunt Sue, somebody. I would love for it to be us. Email us, team@morefla.com.
And imagine if you're out of state too, and you're
Ah,
trying to sell your second home, you're trying to pack up your home, get your kids in the new school, get everything moving over here, get your pets loaded up, and you can't get onto the home site to check if these items are fixed. Like you said, we are the face, the representation for you, where we meet with the construction manager on site to show us everything that's on that report that needs to be fixed. Show me it got fixed. Let me see how you guys are managing these things that our buyers need. But you really got to have a face to that, and it's like we said, it's our full time job. So don't
mhm.
take on a second full time job to try to get this home closed. We will be there on site for you, making sure that they understand that these items need to be fixed before you close on that home. And we definitely advise our buyers to make sure that they are getting these items fixed before closing.
So, a question that I have for you about the community. By the way, hit the like button
Yeah.
for us if you're in here. If you'd like the message that we'd like to give to you guys, one thing is we'd like to give you the real, honest truth, right? So make sure you hit the like button for us.
Yes.
But are they specking all of their homes here? Are they building any? If somebody were to say, "Hey, I like this lot. Can I get this floor plan on that lot?" Is it possible?
They are specking all of these homes. But with that said, they do have a ton of land to build on. So it's pretty simple to find out where the next one is going to be.
Gotcha.
We do have a really good preferred sales rep in this community where we even looked out to a later time because our buyer wasn't going to be ready till next year. And we said, hey, where can we get that floor plan in the future? It's going to be built here and here and here. It's not released yet, but we know one that we want now that's on the cul-de-sac that has the pie shaped lot, pond view, trees in the back. So we really dig into what can be next. And even if it's not released, sometimes we can ask for it to be released. If we have a serious, able, willing, and
Mm-hmm.
ready buyer, release it for us. We'll make the deposit now and you can start building it whenever. And check this out. This home has an attic in it, Christian. We got an attic in a
No,
home,
hold on.
buddy, in
This isn't an
Florida.
attic, brother. This isn't an attic. This is something else. You don't walk up attics. Like, you pull down the
Oh,
stairs
you
maybe
did
to
today,
attic.
bud.
Yeah, no, this is cool. What is this?
this this is why I wanted to show this home because it's just an extra storage space in the 3 car garage. So you got that's definitely something that we have a lot of buyers that are from up north, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, where they've lived in their home for 30 years. They have a ton of stuff to bring with them. We don't have any basements or attics in Florida. This is something that a previous buyer that bought one of these floor plans with us wanted to buy the home literally for the storage
Dude,
that he
that's
could
cool.
make in here.
So let me clarify that for everybody, right? You do have an attic in Florida, but you shouldn't be storing your stuff in your attic. It's not
Yes,
built to store. It's just where your insulation is and
correct.
your duct work and all of that stuff. So, maybe you could put your little Christmas box. That's a place where you can store some stuff. And you know why I like it? You got a 3-car garage. You can utilize the entire garage.
That's exactly it. It's a 15 by 8 space too. And there's another little nook in the garage
I
where you
saw
might be
that.
able to put like a deep freezer or something over there too. So it's just a lot of potential for your garage space in a 3 car garage home as well too. You got the nice landing zone right here. The floors are done throughout the home. All
That's a big
appliances,
washroom.
blinds, fans, everything comes included in this home. So it's truly move-in ready.
Love it, man. Listen, 55 plus, here we come. I think we joke about that every time, but honestly, like, they do get some nice stuff. Like, Lennar doesn't build a home like this. Maybe onesies, twosies when it comes to some of their higher end stuff that they try to do, but they take care of their 55 plus people as far as the floor plan goes. Like, we still have to do our
Oh
job
yeah.
locking in the quality and, all of that stuff. But a question that I have for you, Corey. Okay, so you brought up Angeline, you brought up Murata, and then you also brought up the Newport Richie community. Stack
Mhm.
them up. Like, what's the overall assessment of them all? Where does this fall into play on all of it?
So I would say that Murata is probably going to be on top right now with the Lagoon, with the growth in the area.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of people that want to live over near Wesley Chapel. San Antonio and Wesley Chapel are just a few minutes apart there. So I would say just from the stage that they are in construction, that's going to be number one. I believe Angeline is going to take that spot over in a few years when it becomes more developed. This is like a 5 to 10 year community plan. So if you're looking for those amenities right now, you're just not going to get it. But if you have some patience or you plan on being in your home for a long time, this is definitely going to be the premier community out of all three. And I think Newport Corners is pretty much more of a location based active adult community where you are closer to Newport Richie, closer to the beaches, and like we said, the coast. Not going to be as large, not as many of the nice views, not the lagoons that you have in the other two. But location wise, we see a lot of people that are calling for that community now because you are closer to some places like Clearwater and
Mm-hmm.
St. Pete.
Dude, I'm so interested in seeing a 5 acre lagoon, like a little
Yeah.
smaller than Epperson. I think there's going to be less people out here. Like what? Let's be honest, Wesley Chapel's becoming its own kind of city, right? Like it's a
Yes.
destination in itself. But
Oh yeah.
Angeline, or at least this section where it's at, I mean, there's not a lot of people traveling to go to the lagoon, so the amenity may feel more like your amenity than just a place where people are coming to visit and in and out. So I think there's something here. I'm interested in seeing it. Hopefully, you and me aren't 55 by the time that happens. But I am. I want to keep
Yeah.
an eye on. But the views here, the lots out here, number one for sure, right here.
Yeah, absolutely. No brainer right here. And you can see that it feels like you're really tucked away in the woods in
Mm-hmm.
this community. And there's still a lot of growth coming to this Land O'Lakes into the Angeline community. We see everything kind of being developed north of Tampa now. So we're going from Land O'Lakes into Spring Hill into Brooksville is now starting to see new construction builders out in a place that's just a lot of horse farms. And I think the people out there are getting like, everyone's moving into town, coming in to steal our farmland. So but it's all the growth is coming this way. So, like we said, in 5 to 10 years, this is going to look much like a Wesley Chapel, much like a San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
and those places are going to be even more developed. So, I think it's a good opportunity to get in at the early stages of what's to come in this area. And we have a few families that have bought even townhomes in this community
Mm-hmm.
with the plan of living in it now and then renting it in the future with the potential growth, like we said, from the hospitals and stuff in the area.
Before we wrap it up, talk to us about the Bucks, man. How was the preseason game? What's your overall assessment of like some of these second team guys? Like, are you excited or what?
Yeah, yeah, we didn't get to see many of the starters. I did make it to training camp, so I got to see them out there. Everyone's looking pretty good, and I think we are a sleeper team
I think
this
so.
year.
I agree.
We are a
I agree.
sleeper team for
I
sure.
think the Bucks have some receivers. I think you guys have some receivers. It'll be fun to watch.
That's the
Now
problem.
listen, when sports in Tampa is good, life is good. Right. When
It
the
is.
Lightning's winning, when the Rays were winning, when the Bucks won the Super Bowl, like it hit I think all in one year. I
It
mean,
did one year.
it's a
Yeah.
freaking destination to be in, people. It is a freaking destination to be in, that's for sure.
It is, it is, and a lot of people ask me about the different cities because we're selling homes in Fort Myers,
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, Ocala, and I think Tampa is one of those cities where there is so much to do, especially if you're a sports fan. This is definitely the place to be. Miami's great too, but that's just a different cost of living and a different lifestyle. So for the families that we see coming this way, Tampa is a prime place to be, and especially for youth sports too. We're seeing a lot right down the road from right here is going to be Trinity is going to be opening one of the largest sports complexes in the country that's going to have a huge like 10,000 seat stadium and host a ton of national events. So youth sports and travel sports in the area is a big growing success this far.
100%. If you made it this far, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Catch you guys on the next one.